So Cube was executive producing one of my records. He put me in the studio with Dr. Dre.
Oh my gosh.
I did a song called That's Gangsta. Cube heard that and was like, nope, we're not releasing this. Dre did the beat, and I thought it was hard. And then I played it for Cube. Cube was like, nah. And it never came out.
Look, man.
Cube, it wasn't good? It wasn't good?
A lot of people did them gangster records. Now they look back at them and they like, oh, man, why did I do that? Why did I say that? What the hell was I thinking?
I thought the record was dope. Cube was like, nope, that we're not doing none of that.
Yeah, I do it big, big, big. I'm coming to win. I do it big, big, big. Say it again. I do it big, big, big. I'm coming to win. I do it big, big, big. Say it again. I do it big. I do it big, big, big. Say it again. I do it big.
As you know from watching the Big Podcast, I like to partner with smart people who love to win. Since I'm new to parlays, I've teamed up with DraftKings to get in on the action. We're heading into the final round of the playoffs, but there is still plenty of time to get in on the NBA action with my partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. If you're new to DraftKings, you got to check this out. New customers who bet $5 get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BIGPOD only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. That's right. New customers can bet just $5 on anything and receive $150 in bonus bets instantly. From tip-off to the final seconds. DraftKings has you covered with same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. DraftKings is the only one-stop shop for all things daily fantasy where you can join in on all the fun and have a big shot to win cash prizes. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code BIGPOD and bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code BIGPOD only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
What is up? What is good? How you living? How you feeling? How you doing? It is the Big Podcast with Shaq, where we always do it
big.
It is Lefko, and today we are joined by somebody very special. Shaq, may I do the voice?
Yes, you may.
Okay. This man has built films, albums, and platforms that are just too clean. In the world of sneak dissing, nothing touches, no Vaseline. He waited for no handouts. He built a world through it. He taught us you can do it. Just put your back into it. A pioneer, an icon, a man who never accepted defeat. Only one problem. Every time I'm in the kitchen, he's in the kitchen, eating all the pig's feet. The man, the myth, the legend. Give it up for Ice Cube.
He wrote that himself, Ice Cube. He wrote that himself. That's off the top of the dome right there.
Okay, that's good, man. Good deal. I feel that. What's happening with y'all?
Man, we're doing good. I just want to say thank you, brother, for being here. 2, I'm proud of you. 3, I love you. You've been a good friend ever since we first met. Remember the first time we met?
Man, was it in Japan?
Yeah, first time.
Japan?
Yeah, first time we met in Japan.
What was the situation?
I think he had a show or we had a show, but it was just there. And listen, I became a fan of Ice Cube because I'm from New Jersey, so it was all the East Coast stuff. And then when I heard their stuff, I was like, what is this? Like, it was just funky. It had a sway. And when I met him in Japan, he was really cool. But the first time we got together was on the Men of Steel video. Remember that Men of Steel video we shot?
I remember that. That was dope. It was called, I think B-Real was B-Real on that record with us?
Yes, B-Real.
Yeah, B-Real. That was when we was in Japan. You was with the Fushnikins. And we was on tour with Cypress Hill. Then we went over to Australia. Remember we played basketball in Australia?
That's right, we did.
Yeah, we played basketball in Australia, and one of the highlights of my basketball career is throwing you an alley-oop in that gym out there. And it was just fun, man, to be with you and get a chance to get to know you outside of us watching you and playing, playing, the video games. We play you on the video games. Everybody wanted to be Shaq because they knew that Orlando team you was on back then, you wasn't beating them with Shaq if you knew what you was doing. So, yeah, it was cool to be able to just hang out with you and get a chance to know you.
What time is it? Game time. The NBA Finals are here, and there's no better place to get your tickets than Game Time. They make getting final tickets fast and easy. Or maybe you're looking for great seats to see artists like Bruno Mars, Adele, or Lady Gaga. Game Time has an amazing selection of summer concerts that you can score tickets for. What I like about the Game Time app is their killer last-minute deals. All in pricing with no surprise fees at checkout. You get a seat view of the arena before you buy. And your purchase is covered by the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Just download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code BIGPOD for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account on the Game Time app and redeem code BIGPOD for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
I know you have a big June coming up. You're going on tour with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, which blew my face off. I never would have even imagined that. And you have the BIG3 season getting going. You just had the draft. The fact that, the NBA is winding down right now and you guys are ready to get going, what are you most excited about? This next month is kind of crazy for you.
Yes, it's amazing. I've been knowing the Chili Peppers since '92. I was on the Lollapalooza tour. They were the headliners. And what was cool, we would do our set and Flea and Anthony would come out early and do a song called Wicked with me. And we ended up doing the video when I got back home to the song and they jumped in the video. And it was just cool to have them, they wasn't worried about we the headliners. We don't want to come out early. They would jump on my set and we'd have fun. So I got 4 shows with them this summer. So I'm anxious. We're going to do Tampa and we're doing Florida and North Carolina. And it's going to be real cool, to see them again and be on the road and to be in front of their crowd. That's real cool.
Big 3 basketball.
All right, here we go.
Wow. Fadeaway for 3 is good.
All the excitement.
With the left on a poster.
The most thrilling stars.
Never know who you're going to see in the Big 3.
And it's a historic day.
Legends of the game.
What a statement made today.
Clash with the electric young stars.
Oh my God! The Hezzy guy!
And the slam.
Plus halftime concerts. And fantastic finishes.
Joe Johnson, game winner.
Corbett for the win! Yes! And the enemies are the Big 3 champions!
As far as the Big 3, it's been an amazing journey to get to season 7. We start June 15th in Oakland. And we created it because of this void in basketball, I'm a basketball and I'm a football guy. So, I would hibernate between the finals and then the first NFL game. That's like the dead man zone for guys like me. So, this league to me to be able to start and end with a champion in 10 weeks, to me it's cool for people to have something to get into in that period where, they can't get enough basketball and basketball's pretty much, packed it up. The NBA has a great summer league, but it kind of, after you see the first guy play once or twice, the number 1 pick or the draft lottery guys play once or twice, then they shut them down. Then you pretty much waiting for the regular season. So the Big 3 is perfect because, like I said, it's a sprint. In 10 weeks, we're gonna have a champion. And it's gonna be great.
I owe you an apology. Mario Chalmers was on the podcast, and I told him I wanted to kind of join the Big Three, and it kind of went viral, and I actually heard what you said. And believe it or not, I tried to get in the gym, and I ain't got it no more, dog. My is gone.
Hey,
I've been eating right and running and jumping. I tried to play in
what,
the LA Fitness. I look like the worst big man ever, dog. I ain't got it.
don't worry
So
about it,
I
man.
wouldn't come out there
Hey,
and embarrass your league, and I definitely wouldn't come out there and embarrass myself. So maybe next year.
I feel you. You know, you gotta, still, be ready to play it, at that level. Hey, you gave us, you know, some of the greatest basketball years that's ever been recorded. So I appreciated the championships you brought to the Lakers, all the joy you brought to our household. Uh, you done paid enough. Now, if you want to hang out with the Big Three, come hang out, next to me. I got a good seat for you to kick back, and, you can enjoy the league from my vantage point. You know what I'm saying? We'd be happy and we'd love to have you. But don't worry about it, man. It's really about your game, not your name at this point. When it comes to the Big Three, and so guys that still want to do it at that level with that chip on their shoulder, come see me. Guys who just want to hang out and enjoy the league, come see me too, because we got nice seats for you to check it out. Nice vantage point.
As Carnival CFO, that's short for Chief Fun Officer, it's my job to ensure everyone has an unforgettable vacation experience on their Carnival cruise. All you got to do is enjoy all types of fun on ship, from twists and turns on boat, the world's first roller coaster at sea, the moments of blissful relaxation at Cloud9 Spa. Venture off ship and explore ancient Mayan ruins, or just kick back and do nothing at all on the pristine white sand Caribbean beaches. Take an ATV ride through the jungle or dive into the crystal clear waters of Carnival's new exclusive destination, Celebration Key, welcoming guests in the summer of 2025. Finally, kick out the evening with a craft cocktail at any one of Carnival's dazzling bars and lounges. And take your pick among the delectable restaurants on board, like Emerald's Bistro or Shaq's Big Chicken. Then settle in for an evening of live entertainment at Punchliner Comedy Club or taking a show. Simple as that. You've just created unforgettable vacation memories. Because no one does fun like Carnival. Visit carnival.com and pack for your next cruise. Ship's registry, the Bahamas, Panama. You remember that one year in the playoffs I was missing all those free throws and I would look at you and you'd be cursing me out in the stands? You remember those games?
Well, I was rooting for you. I wasn't cursing you. I was cursing the refs, trying to keep them off you.
Ice Cube used to be mad. He used to be like, "Big knees, Shaq." I heard you,
look,
brother.
man. Hey, in the forum it was a little closer, so you could definitely hear me in the forum. But look, y'all got it together. By 2000, y'all start bringing them rings in. I wasn't saying nothing. I was saying, I would say what you would say. I'm gonna make him. He gonna make him when he need to make him.
Yeah.
Don't worry about mid-season. When he need to make him, when it's championship time, more than likely 9 times out of 10, Shaq walking away with that ring. So, it was great to watch you play all them years, man. I feel honored to see, one of the baddest duos to ever do it live every night.
I have a lot of questions for the Big Three. I will get back to it. I'm just realizing the Laker connection of you and Flea is also like a huge thing too. But I'm curious, man. Like you mentioned championships with the Lakers. I'm a Sixers fan. I've never experienced a championship in my life. And the Lakers, it's all about rings and trophies and banners. And now we're at this interesting time with the Lakers where is LeBron leaving? Is he staying? JJ Redick. What do you think of your team and all the transitions that are going on right now, the state of the Lakers?
I mean, we needed a big man. I mean, a true big man. That's what, everybody call it the Mickey Mouse Championship. But all those teams was going for that Mickey Mouse championship. They was going for that banner. So you can't dismiss it. But at the end of the day, you know, it was Dwight Howard in there. It was JaVale McGee. And, you know, we had another big guy. But, you know, AD can only do so much. Asking him to play center, to me, is just, I think you gotta free him up a little bit. And so I think that was the missing piece with the Lakers. And as you see, once we went up against Denver again, that's what was the missing piece once again. So hopefully they learn from that and fill that void. But you know, what's great about championships, it brings your city together. You know, what the Lakers would do, they could do what nobody else could. You know, bring all the different, you know, factions in LA together, except the Clipper fans. You know, they on some whole other tip. But I'm just saying, you know, most of the people that had sense in Los Angeles was brought together by the Lakers more than any other team. You know, the Dodgers win, you know, they win, but the Lakers win championships, and you know, the Lakers have held Los Angeles together for a long, long time. So, you know, that's the beauty of a championship. You know, Philadelphia, you know, get one. That's what you'll see in the city, the unity.
Cube, would you like JJ Redick? People out there saying he could be like Pat Riley. What do you think about that as the next head coach?
I don't know. You know, I'm not the one to say. You know, I'm so focused on the league that we're putting together. I'm not even really, you know, an expert at this point to be able to say that. But you know, I'll leave it to the people that get paid to do it. You know, they get paid millions to make this decision, and no matter what decision they make, you know, Laker fans, I think, will give it a chance to work. And if it don't work, you'll hear from Laker fans. You know, they'll be the first ones to let you know it's not working.
Yes.
Ice Cube, we did a segment on the show called The Big Break. So the general wants to know, which team deserves the big break to be NBA champions this year, Boston or Dallas?
Oh, wow. You know, being a Laker, it's hard to go for the Celtics on anything. But, you know, Jaylen Brown, you know, is my hero when it comes to NBA basketball players. And so I think they've been knocking on the door for a few years. You know, my heart would not be broke if they won it. But I love Kyrie too. So, you know, I think the Celtics actually need it more than Dallas. You know, I think if the Celtics don't get it, their fans are going to be pissed.
Very upset. I think it's going to be a better series than people think it's going to be.
I think it's going to be phenomenal.
I think Boston may have a little difficulty because their road has been easy. I think they may take Dallas a little too lightly, and I think so.
I mean, you're right. The Pacers were banged up when they faced them. Donovan Mitchell was banged up. So think about it. Tyrese Halliburton, great guard, hurt.
Right.
Donovan Mitchell, great guard, hurt. That first series, bums. I don't remember who they played. But now they're going up against Luka and Kyrie. And I know, I have to imagine the Boston fans, you got like little Larry Bird, this generation's Larry Bird, coming into your arena. They're going to be conflicted because Luka's going to put on a show.
Yes.
Boston is going to be conflicted. I ain't worried about that, man. They probably going to, you know, hate Kyrie coming back in there. And, you know, Boston they've been serving people all year. So I don't know if they're going to take anybody lightly. They on a mission, I think, to close it out.
This episode of the Big Podcast with Shaq is brought to you by The General. You know, Shaq loves The General. Before the league, before the rings, before I got my big break, I've been rocking with The General. The General has been offering quality coverage for 60 years. You already know the General was there for Shaq when I needed him. Low rates and flexible payment options to keep you covered. If you're ready for your big break, you know what to do. Visit thegeneral.com to get a quote today. Again, visit thegeneral.com to get a quote today. And it wouldn't be the big podcast without the General. Q, we're living in a time now where it's a major culture shift, especially in our line of work in basketball and in music. I know in basketball, I don't feel that the younger generation gives us and guys like Mike and Barkley the respect that we deserve. You feel the same way in music? You feel like these young guys forget where they come from and they don't give you the proper respect? Because I'm tired of hearing these top 10 lists and I don't hear your name a lot. That right there really pisses me off.
I'm not, lists, music is subjective. If you hear from any 10 people from any different generations, they'll have different people on their list. So, that don't bother me because, I can find just as many fans that got me, top 5, as I can find that don't have me in the top 5. So it's real subjective. What I do know is when they see me, I get nothing but love, nothing but respect. They understand and honor what my accomplishments have been when it comes to hip hop and culture. And so I don't feel disrespected. I feel like, at some point, sometimes you got to educate the newer generation on what it was. And with YouTube and all these clips that's floating around, I'm always hitting the youngsters off with clips, of the greats doing it. So, that's our job, is to educate them and show them why they need to respect an Akeem Olajuwon, why they need to, respect, Patrick Ewing. It's not, it's not always about rings. It's about guys who can play the game, and who were great and who contributed to the game. And nobody who know what they're talking about can ever look at you guys and what you guys did and how you elevated the game, to another level and discredit it, and to me have any credibility. So that's what it's all about.
Cube, I think it's incredible that you created a league, you made up teams, you had this whole concept, and then recently a franchise sold and someone was like, this is worth millions of dollars. That's a testament to your hard work and your creation. And when you can get that kind of liquidity from something that you created in your brain, that's unbelievable. I don't know if you know, like the CEO of NVIDIA. It is now like one of the most valuable companies in the world, worth trillions upon trillions of dollars. And the CEO was asked, would you do the whole thing over again? And he kind of shocked people by saying no, because he said people don't realize how hard this is and how much time it takes. You create this league out of your brain, and now it's like really turning into a thing, and you're on CBS. To think back 7-8 years ago when you first started till now, what has been the parts of the journey that you didn't even realize? And as you sit here today, you can reflect on and be like, I can't believe I built this.
Oh man, it's been an amazing journey on a lot of levels. I would change a few things, building a league, introducing the league at this level. Everybody told us not to do it. Everybody told us that it was, one of the hardest things that never really happens. UFC was the last, I think, league that you can really point to that say this league came out of nowhere and became a household, part of our sports consciousness. And so, but a great idea is a great idea. We spent over a year, me and my partner, Jeff Quantness, just envisioning what the league would look like, arguing about rules, talking about, business models and really making sure it was player friendly, and making sure that the players love to play the game and fans love to watch the game and that they played the right way. And that it would be a game that we all recognized and it wasn't a game that we, couldn't understand. And it's been there. It's like the little cousin of 5-on-5 that's been there forever, that all it had to do was be elevated to the professional level. And we believe, starting with credibility, like Dr. J and Clyde Drexler and, Iceman and Rick Barry and Nancy Lieberman, starting with Hall of Famers. Allen Iverson played in the league year one. Chauncey Billups, Michael Cooper, these guys, to me were, credibility on top of credibility. So, they believed in our vision. Dr. J's been a coach with us for 7 years. It's pretty incredible. Iceman, same thing. Clyde Drexler been our commissioner for 6 years. So they believe in what we have. And when you got the best that ever did it, believing in your vision, it gives you all the fuel you need to continue to grow the league into something special. And here we are.
Today's episode is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. As the NBA's most dominant big men of all time, I'm living proof that size matters. And the same should go for your law firm. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm with over 100 offices nationwide and more than 1,000 lawyers. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/thebig or dial pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. Again, that's forthepeople.com/big or pound law 529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement. Cube, I always wanted to ask you this. We grew up together, introduced to you in 87, 88, been a big fan, got to meet you, got to hang out with you. I always wanted to ask you, because I rarely see you make a mistake when it comes to business. Where'd you get your business acumen? I don't really hear you talking much about going to college or getting degrees, so where'd you get your business acumen? Because everything you've done, brother, has been golden. Like, when you started out with movies, you did great movies. I started out doing Kazam. So, where did you?
Which is now apparently available on Delta flights.
Oh, it is.
Somebody sent me a screenshot that if you go to all movies, Kazam is on Delta.
But Q, I've never seen you do a bad album, never seen you do a bad movie, anything. Like, where did you get that from? Who taught you that? Did you teach yourself or did you get books?
Well, having mentors, keeping my eyes and ears open, working with the great Dr. Dre at a young age, who he had the philosophy kind of, we will sell no wine before it's time. Remember that? That old saying, meaning that, get it right, polish it off, make sure, you're giving your best to the public. Don't offer them something that you won't buy. These things is in my DNA. And, working in an arena that I'm familiar with, I'm comfortable with, entertainment, music. To me, I could be a better investor. I might can learn a lot from you when it comes to that. But as far as putting together entertainment for fans, things people love and want to consume and watch, over and over again. To me, that's the essence of what we're supposed to be doing. When it comes to music and movies, these things are going to be around longer than I am. You know, I'll be dead and gone, and my music will still be here. My movies will still be here. And so I take it very serious before I present anything to the public. I have a lot of good people around me, smart people that I've worked with for decades, you know, some over 3 decades. And so the consistency help me make the right moves at the right time.
You talked about love. I was always impressed with Jaylen Brown and the way he approaches so many things, the way that he made sure that he interacted with the big three and tried to give some of his shine to you guys, how intelligent he is, how he's always fighting for causes. And then there's this stuff happening recently where Stephen A. saying he's not marketable, Jaylen saying, show me your sources. He's had an incredible career up to this point. Now he's going to the finals. I'm just curious how much love you have for that guy and the notion that is he marketable?
I love Jaylen Brown. You know, the courage that he has on a lot of different fronts is infectious. And so, to me, I believe, winning is marketable. He's a winner. I've seen guys, guys like Kawhi Leonard, which doesn't have, a exploding personality, and he's marketable. So I believe Jaylen Brown is definitely marketable. And he put a ring on that finger, as Shaq know, he'll become even more marketable. It's really about what he does on the court, which will open up all those avenues. And so, he's tapped on the door a few times. He got to seal the deal. And once he sealed the deal, I think people will understand that, he's the kind of leader that some people love, quiet assassin. Everybody don't have to be, or everybody can't be, put it that way, as colorful as somebody, like a Shaq or Rodman or, somebody who's larger than life.
Right.
He gonna do it his way. And, maybe some of these opportunities he might not be feeling. They might be a little, beneath his standards of what he want to push. So it probably goes a little both ways in that area.
I don't know if it's Jaylen Brown's issue. It may be a media issue. And I know you've said before through the big three, you learned a lot about the media. You learned a lot about the leagues. And I think sometimes when people actually have substance to say, it's very unfortunate when they get quieted down. He might be going through some stuff that you've experienced.
In a lot of ways, he didn't take the COVID vaccine, and things like that may kind of put him out of favor with some people. But at the end of the day, authenticity rules everything. If you're authentic to yourself, it will get you through the day. And it'll get you through the night too. So I think you got to be true to yourself and let the chips fall where they may. And, whether he's marketable or not, he's still, one of the highest paid basketball players in the world, if not the highest paid. And if he adds rings to that, I think he'll be more than satisfied whether he does 10 commercials or 2. I don't think it bothers Jaylen one bit.
Are there any big names, new exciting names in the big three that the audience doesn't know about yet that you could enlighten us on?
Yeah, we got my man Paul Millsap joining the league. He's running the team, and he picked both his brothers to play with him. So we got 4 sets of brothers in the league. Jeff Teague, same thing. He's playing with his brother. So it's cool to see if families can win championships. It hasn't happened. Well, it happened with one team, but it's only happened once in the Big Three with the triplets. Joe Johnson had a lot to say about that. But we'll see how it go this year. This is Jeff Teague and Paul Millsap's first year. We also got Greg Monroe joining the league. So we'll see how they can play, this style of basketball.
Yeah, I'm always betting on Earl Clark's team. I think Earl Clark has figured it out. That was one of my questions. I'm a gambler. Shaq says I do white guy gambling. Is there going to be a point where I can start betting on the Big Three? Because, I'll be honest, I've been betting on W games for the last 3 weeks, and I'm watching more WNBA than I ever have. Is there going to be a point where I can start betting on the Big Three?
Of course, you can bet on them now. We
Really?
got lines we got lines everywhere. We're going to be doing some great things this year. And, of course, go and spend that money, Definitely give you a reason to watch the Big Three.
You were talking about exciting new names. I thought the marketing move of offering Caitlin Clark a contract was
just
genius.
about to say that.
And it turned into a weak debate of guys like Kenyon Martin saying, you don't understand what this is like. She wouldn't be able to handle it. What was the idea? Was it sincere?
Definitely sincere. I was just about to say it was more than a marketing move. It was a big swing. We knew adding her to our league would pique interest. It would definitely unlock, millions in sponsored dollars. It would definitely unlock higher, ticket sales, and the things that a league needs. That all boats rise with a high tide. So all boats rise with a high tide. So everybody would have benefited off of her joining the league. Now, whether she could play at this level or not, who is it? Who am I to say she can't? It's really about throwing the basketball out there and seeing what's happening. A lot of people had their doubts. I think it's a little rough, but like I said, who am I to say she can't? Especially if she wanted to accept that challenge. So it was a big swing, and we gained a bump from it for sure. But I think all of women's sports had gained a bump from that offer.
Definitely.
I think the WNBA players are even getting treated better because now there's real money out there for these ladies to play at a high level. So I think we once again changed the game and made the game better.
Do you want to maybe up your offer to Caitlin Clark and see if, the W ain't going great, maybe she comes over next year?
Well, like I said, I would want to talk to our sponsors and our partners. If the same enthusiasm is around her and if she's commanding these kind of ratings, then, I can't say, that we wouldn't think about it.
I do think about her driving the lane and Reggie Evans fouls her, and I would be so afraid for her, man.
Cube, you mind if I give one confession time?
Go for it.
So Cube was executive producing one of my records. And he put me in the studio with Dr. Dre.
Oh my gosh.
I did a song called That's Gangsta. Cube heard it. Was like, nope, we're not releasing this. Dre did the beat. Dre had me there. I thought it was nice. One of the Cube's partners, a dude named Short Chop. Shout out to Short Chop. He helped me write it. And I thought it was hard. And then I played it for Cube. Cube was like, no.
He didn't even bob to it at all.
No, he was like, nope, we're not done. Because the hook was, that's gangster. And he was like, Shaq, you're a Laker, bro. I don't want you talking about nothing gangster. We're not doing none of that. and it never came out. Do you
Cube, it
remember
wasn't
that?
good. It wasn't good.
No, it was good. Shaq is a dope MC, but I just felt the record was off brand for him because, to me he's more than just gangster. He's loved by millions, loved by kids. He already established that, and why go backwards when you're already forward, so to speak. You're already a household name, beloved by, little kids, big kids,
Around the world.
grandmas.
And that taught me, Q. That taught me stay true to who you are. Because I ain't gonna lie,
Yeah.
we're like, you guys want to be basketball players. I wanted to be y'all growing up. Like, if you don't think I had the goddamn Raiders sweatsuit and the Raiders hat and the S curl,
Did not
Remember
have
yes, I had that.
Remember
Because them I had the S
remember
curl.
the Sports Illustrated cover?
Oh,
Remember
yeah,
the
remember
Sports
that?
Illustrated cover we
Yeah.
took? Yeah, it was he was the rapper. I was the basketball player on the Sports Illustrated cover, and it was dope because it was a whole story on athletes wanting to be entertainers, entertainers wanting to be athletes, and that love for each other and respect. It's respect of doing it at the highest level, even with your peers going after the same prize in a way. Theirs is championships, ours is record sales. I'm friends with a lot of rappers, but when, back then when you go in the record store, I wanted them to pick up an Ice Cube album. I love Scarface, but grab that Ice Cube, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it is, it's that. It's that respect, that mutual respect across the board.
And I think what a lot of people don't understand is I think we do the same thing for each other. Like, I know what things y'all go through when y'all get done, y'all want to see a nice game, right? And I know when I get done doing what I'm doing, I want to get in my car and all my speakers and hear some. So I think that's why we all get along. But I never told that story, but I thought the record was dope. Q was like, nope, that.
The record was dope, but it was off brand. I've done
it
dope records,
showcases
and my guys.
It showcases that Cube has always he's always been like 3 steps ahead. He's like, I know it's good, but we have bigger things to do, and that takes somebody that can really like forecast.
I want to say thank you for that, brother. You taught me a valuable lesson.
Yeah, because everybody, that did them gangster records now, a lot of people did them gangster records now. They look back at them and they like, oh, damn, why did I do that? Why did I say that? What the hell was I thinking? So, but your rhymes always been hard without even going there. You don't even have to do it. You know what I mean?
I know, but
you're an MC on a different level.
I just wanted to be like y'all, brother.
Have you ever sent Cube some of your diss tracks that are unreleased?
No, never.
I would love Cube's reactions to those because in this world of Kendrick and Drake, Cube is still the champ in my mind.
Of course. And you know what, Cube? I'm glad that you came out and said it because, like with all this new stuff that's going on, you got these new people and they get numbers and beams and people forget. Like, it may be dope, but it ain't the number one.
Cube took on 4 guys at one time and won.
And a manager.
And a manager.
And Cube, I want to give you a shout out as a father. Like, you've always been a great father, but your son, I seen your son one day in Atlanta, brother, and he was so polite and so respectful. And I just went up to him, I said, nephew, I'm so proud of you. I saw the NWA movie, you did your thing. I want to give you a shout out as a father, man, because your kids have always been beautiful and smart and, respectful. So, kudos to you and your lovely wife. But when I saw Junior in Atlanta, man, he gave me a big old hug and we sat and we chopped it up. And I told him I was, proud of him and he was just a classy kid, brother. So again, kudos to you and your lovely wife.
Appreciate that, man. I give her all the credit. We always respected our kids. I think it's important at no matter what age they are, is to give them respect. And we've never had any issues with our kids, and we've always heard good things. So I appreciate that report back. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell my wife we got another good report. You ain't gotta check nobody, but look, you got great kids too. Both of our sons is named Sharif. You know, so every time I hear, you know, your son's name, I always think of my son, and you know, it's been great to see how the second generation have been able to, you know, keep their head on straight. You know, when it comes to music and sports, movies, we proud of them, and you know, we're proud of all our kids though too.
When you talked about That's Gangsta not getting released, I'm always amazed at the songs that we will never hear. Songs that are on a hard drive somewhere or on a cassette somewhere. Cube, I'm curious, have you ever had a bunch of people on a song that their names, you're like, wow, this is crazy, but no one has ever heard the song? Like, what's the craziest combo that's never made it out?
Well, you know, to me, if I'm gonna do a song with you, it's going out. I'm not gonna hold a song with a great artist. So I'm not sitting on songs that got features that I haven't put out. I'm sitting on songs that are just solo songs that I felt for whatever reason wasn't ready at the time, or missed a mark, or just wasn't top notch. You know, I got some I listen to back, and I'm like, yo, that's cold. You know, I may drop a unreleased, you know, a greatest misses kind of.
Were you ever asked to be a feature on a song that didn't come out and you were like, come on, guys, I killed it?
I can't think of one.
He doesn't play that.
Yep. All right, Q, we know you got to go. Last question. Drake, Kendrick beef. Who you got winning? Who's up? You approve or you disapprove?
Well, I mean, I approve of the beef. I always approve of rap battles. That's the essence of the game. It goes back to, you know, Busy B and Kumo D, and even further than that. So it's part of the game, you know, as long as it doesn't get physical, because that's not rap. You know, when it get physical, that's just street crime. So long as it stay on wax, it's a beautiful thing. I think Kendrick is up. I think, you know, he's landed the more hard and effective punches, so to speak. But that don't mean that don't mean Drake can't get off the canvas. So I think if I was Kendrick, I'd stay cocked and loaded, you know, ready for
just in case
whatever's coming. But it's interesting, you know, to me, it always pumps energy into the music because it takes it back to the essence. And so, as long as it don't get violent, it's fun. The minute it get violent, it ain't rap no more.
Yep. All right, man. We know you got a heart out of 3. Tell your family I said thank you and I love you. And I will definitely see you this soon, my brother.
Much love, much respect always, Shaq. Much love, much respect to the podcast, to the show. And look, BIG3, we love to have everybody participate this summer. Come join the league. Check us out if we're in your city, starting June 15th. Much love, much respect. Yeah.
All right, man. Love you.
All right, man. Love you. Later.
So you thought you killed it on that song?
Oh, I know I killed it because I was in the studio with Dre and Dre don't play.
Because Dre doesn't release like he really cares.
No, it's not about a release. Like the vocals, everything got to be tight and crisp.
It's like OCD.
Yeah, it's like the first time I do like 1,000 takes.
Do you remember any of the bars or lines from that song?
No.
Do you have access to it? Like, can you get it just to listen to it?
I'm sure I could probably find it. I know it's on one of my hard drives.
What was the hook? That's gangsta.
Yeah.
And was this like Dre in his prime, like early 2000s? Like,
well, Dre is always in his prime. But this is
But when the Chronic 2001 came out,
yeah, before that, and the beat was boy.
Oh man,
yeah.
I would love to see Caitlin Clark in the BIG3. I didn't realize when that was happening.
She would get touched up.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I like the WNBA girls are letting her know.
I was gonna say if I was the BIG3 and I should have said this to Cube, marketing wise, I'm taking the line from Kendrick where he said, F the big three, but I'm just cutting out the big three and I'm using that somehow.
Yeah.
2, I'm taking these clips of Caitlin Clark, and if I'm Cube,
No,
I was going to say, I'd be like, you tired of people not respecting you, not wanting you to play? Come on over to the big three, Caitlin. Like, I would be courting Caitlin Clark still.
Charles Barkley went on this rant a couple weeks ago. What the was he talking about?
In terms of what? Which one?
Y'all girls are petty. Like, what was he talking about?
I think it was weird because Angel Reese thing came out afterwards with a tweet where I think she was addressing it. There seems to be, he went on a rant, some other people went on a rant. I think people are inventing women that are getting upset at Caitlin Clark when they're not actually.
Yeah, but let's make something clear. One person may have all the props, but it's never one person.
Never.
Like, don't say, oh, we're getting new sponsorship because of Caitlin. No, what about Angel? What about Cardoza? What about my favorite, Kelsey Plum?
Cameron Brink.
Like,
Asia Wilson, who's been incredible.
Yeah, like, so.
There's just a 3-on-3 women's league that's being launched right now. Well, I mean, women's sports are on the rise everywhere.
So I think when people get upset is, as a player, you don't want to be forgotten. Like, I remember in high school, I did everything I could. All Kenny Anderson. All Jim Jackson.
Did you ever get to
Tracy
face them?
Murray. Yes. In the
And when you did, how did you play?
Oh, well, MVP.
So can I tell you what I'm doing from a betting perspective? Yes. I'm not betting against Caitlin Clark because there are times where she'll drop 30. But every time she plays another star in the W, they go crazy. Jewel Lloyd dropped 32. Asia Wilson dropped 29 and 15. I love Caitlin Clark because I'm getting to see everyone else take their game to a whole, because they know the ratings are higher. They want to show out too.
You know what I call it? I call it stealing props. And I talk about this all the time, but when I use the J word, people are like, it's professional jealousy. Like, for example, if our podcast numbers are doing certain numbers and then a guy below us, oh, he's the best podcast ever. Me and you're going to be like, what the
Yeah.
We're
going to sit in the lab and come up with some cool stuff.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, but I just think people should, focus more on not just her, because she is a great player, but don't forget about beautiful Cardoza and my girl Angel. Angel actually called me. She was upset. Well, he didn't say nothing. I said, Angel, because Charles does what he always does. He takes up the segment, and then by the time he gets done talking to guys,
he's like, sorry, we got to get to commercial.
Yes, we got to get to commercial.
For Diesel, I'm Lefko. Big shout out to Cube. We have a few more episodes. We have a bunch more episodes of the Big Podcast coming out. So rate us, subscribe us. If you're on YouTube, leave comments. And I do love the YouTube comments that are always talking about how we have the most ads ever.
And we're going to do something very soon. We're going to set up a baby date.
A baby date?
Yes, my baby and your baby. That's all people need to know. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Yeah.
I was missing all those free throws, and I would look at you, and you'd be cursing me out in the stands. He'd be like, bend your fucking knees, Shaq.